Good afternoon and welcome to Pekin, Illinois with a Mid-Illini matchup between the Pekin Dragons and the Morton Potters. Pekin are 7-6 and third in the Mid-Illini, and the Morton Potters are fourth in the Mid-Illini at 11-5. John, should be a great game. Offensively, Pekin's one of the best teams in the conference, and Morton one of the best pitching arrangements in the area. Pekin on Monday defeated the Potters 4-2. And what should be another great matchup between the two. So we're getting ready on the mound for Pekin, Keegan Busby. John, going into this matchup, what are some keys to the game you see for both sides?
Well, obviously, start out with the home team, the Pekin Dragons, a big win for them earlier in the week against Morton. Obviously, the Potters, they were one of the teams that were picked to finish in the top of the Mid-Illini Conference, so they're going to face a whole different animal today, and Tate Roley on the mound. But first, for the Dragons, you see them on the mound, and their starting pitcher, Keegan Busby, will get the start on the bump today. And obviously for him, it just throw strikes, keep Morton honest, and don't let any big innings hurt you.
You're right, John. And with these two teams, one thing I've noticed from the games I've been able to watch for Pekin, very high-scoring offense. And when I talked to head coach Matt Emmons earlier in the day, one of the keys was to get a good defensive adjustment early on, slow down the pace of Morton's offense, get an early lead, and hopefully that can secure the win for Pekin. But for Morton, what do you see on their side?
Well, yeah, for Morton, they have a set lineup, lots of seniors on this Morton team, and they have a couple you'll see right away in their starting lineup. First, actually, you see Brooks Newhoff. He'll be number 5, the left fielder. He's a senior. He'll be digging in lead off for Morton today. So excited to see just how both these teams play. We saw Pekin, obviously, last week against Washington. They picked up a big win. They've been pretty hot as of late. A win over Washington in extra innings, then also, obviously, against the Potters earlier this week.
Yeah, both of these teams looking to get a crucial win today, what could possibly put you farther into the race for the Mid-Illini and what is a truly competitive conference. We're getting set early on. First pitch outside. 1-0. And for Morton, go through the starting lineups. Batting now, number 5, Brooke Newhoff, senior. After that, Nolan Ryman, the second baseman. Third, Ethan Hurst, the third baseman. Batting fourth, Braylon Smith, the catcher. And fifth, Austin Davis, the right fielder. Then Baylor Wilkinson, the designated hitter. Then Tanner Spangler, the first baseman. Owen Adams, the shortstop. And J.R. Kruzik, the center fielder.
That'd be G.B. Kruzik.
Oh, sorry. As the ball hit to third base, looks like an error on the play.
That was a tough one to handle for Pekin third baseman Trey Roberson. A rocket off of the bat of Newhoff. So leadoff man aboard to start here for the Potters. And looking at Pekin's defensive alignment, they'll have, starting from first over to third, it is going to be Booth, Schaefer, Bolin, and Roberson. The battery today, Keegan Busby is the pitcher. Scotty Jordan, David Hartwell, and Nolan Schaefer consist of the outfield for Pekin.
Now a 1-0 count. Another one outside, 2-0.
We're doing a good job of getting ahead in the count. Obviously, it's how you want to start off in a bat. Leads the possibility for walks and also can make you be aggressive later in the at-bat.
Ball hit high into the outfield. Caught for the first out. And with a team like Pekin, obviously you want to get on the board early to compete. They've had several games where they've scored high into the teens, but they've also had games where they've scored not any at all. So you want to be able to get that first run to set the momentum and get above this team.
And Pekin struck first against Washington, but before that, he always starts with putting a 0 on the board in the top of the first. So big out there for Busby to retire Ryman there on the flyout.
Now 1-1. Sorry, 1-0. Busby eyeing first base. That ball outside again, 2-0. Oh, 2-1. Sorry, 1-1. Off here in the booth.
Here the Morton dugout getting pretty loud. They're fired up for this one. Maybe looking to start a new trend with this game. Obviously, the Potters, after that loss to Pekin, and I believe they also had dropped a game earlier last week too. So Morton started off the year really good, and then a little bit of a mini rut right now. Obviously, not anywhere close to beating a slump, especially this team.
Yeah,
big opportunity today for the Potters.
11-5 is a really good record to have at this point in the season. As there's the second out, goes out swinging. But 11-5, great record to have early in the season. But Pekin, they're trying to continue their little streak they got here. They last game they beat the Morton Potters. Before that, they went ahead and upset the Washington Panthers. They did lose a game. But overall, the last few games have been pretty positive for Pekin. They're looking to continue that stretch. And that ball hit deep into right field. Fielded pretty easily, though, for the third out.
Yeah, good first inning there for Keegan Busby and the Dragons. Obviously, that single, or how they called it, a single or an error. Didn't get the official word there, but Brooks Newhoff reached base, but then 1-2-3. Busby knocks him down in the top of the first. So looks pretty comfortable out there despite falling behind in some early counts. And going back to your other point, Teddy, Mid-Illini baseball really this year is wide open. You got East Peoria. It's playing really good at 13-3. Dunlap also up there as well. You have Morton, Pekin, and Washington are also in the mix as well. So, and then, Canton also not a bad team either. So you got 6, maybe even more teams that can beat anybody on any given day. So really, Mid-Illini baseball been ultra competitive this year.
Mid-Illini baseball has been, and you say wide open, but it's wide open in the sense that every team is good. So I think that's been a common theme the past few big sports for football, basketball, and now here for baseball. Mid-Illini has shown it's a very competitive conference this season.
And definitely, and your first look here on the mound, well, that's one of the best pitchers in the area, Tate Roley. Right there, the Bradley commit, and really excited to see what the Southpaw can do on the mound today. He's got a lot of responsibility trying to win his team the game. His Morton team just relies so much on him. Obviously, lots of other playmakers and good pitchers and good batters as well, but it really all starts on the mound with Tate Roley.
Yeah, Morton, throughout their whole lineup, they have a lot of really good pitchers, but this guy is something special, and it's going to be interesting to see how a high-powered offense like Pekin and a great pitching rotation like Morton can battle it out for the rest of this game.
It's also a great day for baseball here in Pekin, Teddy. I mean, you got wind is sort of gusting out a little bit. We may see some deeper fly balls today, but I mean, temps in about 80 degrees or so. It's sunny out. We had a little brief thunderstorm this afternoon, but overall, just a great day for baseball. It seems like there's been a lot less rainouts lately.
There has been. Early on in the season, there were quite a few games that got rained out, so it's nice that baseball is getting on more consistent trajectory here. But yeah, as of right now, beautiful blue, barely any clouds. Great day for baseball.
Coming to the plate for the Pekin Dragons, the right fielder, number 3, Nolan Schaefer.
Coming up to the plate, Nolan Schaefer. He's been a guy that shows he has a lot of power in his bat, and he's also a pretty decent hitter with a great average getting on base, and overall, this is one of Pekin's best batters. So it's going to be interesting to see this matchup early on, leading off.
And I saw a lot of movement in Roley's warm-up pitches, so we'll see how Pekin is able to handle that. I'll start with Schaefer, the right fielder, who had a multi-hit game in their most recent contest against Morton.
First pitch swinging, 0-1. The velocity on that pitch is impressive at the high school level, really at any level. That's a good pitch.
Yeah, certainly, and yeah, I mean, And I haven't seen much of Tate Roley yet, but I think as the game goes along, we're really going to see why this guy's a D1 prospect.
All the Bradley fans are definitely going to want to watch this guy going into next year. But as of now, him and the Morton Potters putting together a great season, looking to continue that. Now 1-2.
Yeah, Schaefer just a little bit behind Roley's pitches there, but back to one of your points about pitching at Bradley, strong Mid-Illini ties with the Bradley baseball team. You have guys that have played for the team that are from Morton. They have a couple current players that were just Washington Panthers last year, in Easton Harris and Gus Lucas. As Roley mows down Schaefer to start the game. He's looking pretty strong early on, but they also have some Dunlap players as well, multiple ones, including Jackson Chatterton, John Day. Then you have guys from Benamora like Ryan Vogel, who's taking the MVC by storm. So if you play good in the Mid-Illini, there's a good chance that Elvis Dominguez and the Bradley Braves will come calling.
Especially this year with how strong the Mid-Illini is, it's going to be crazy to see how that transfers to the college level for some of these seniors. First pitch outside, ball 1. David Hartwell pops that one high. Foul ball.
And Hartwell that was the first time that only a second batter, but first time that the Pekin Dragons have been able to make contact off of a pitch from Roley. Obviously, the velocity will go down maybe a couple degrees as the game goes along, but certainly in the early innings is when it's going to be hardest for Pekin to score.
Yeah, so maybe just putting the ball on the bat in any form will get you some confidence going back to the dugout, but definitely good to see there. 1-1. Second strike, 1-2.
That was a nice pitch there on the lower outside corner. Would have been a tough pitch for Hartwell to hit, especially with how hard Roley's thrown. Obviously, I wish we had radar guns up here in the booth, but I'd venture to guess he is at least in the high 80s.
Another one fouled off far right side, right into the Morton dugout. Just bounces right through. David Hartwell, he was significant in the win against Washington for Pekin. He closed out in what was a really dramatic ending, almost with Washington coming back, but he was able to come in and get the win for Pekin, what was a much-needed victory.
And Pekin there, 3-2 in the Mid-Illini Conference, right there in the race again. Morton also 3-2 in conference as well. So one of these teams is going to break that tie here today. Obviously, East Peoria and Dunlap also in action. We'll be keeping tabs on that game today between the Raiders and the Eagles. That one will be a great one over in Dunlap.
Third strike, got caught swinging. That's 2 outs.
2 outs coming to the plate for the Pekin Dragons. The DH, number 13, Landon.
And Hartwell just got caught by the off-speed there. Roley can knock you down with a fastball. He can knock you down with the off-speed pitch as well, and he did so there. So 2 strikeouts for the Potters hurler early on. He's looking strong again.
Here comes the designated hitter, Landon Bell, the junior. Strike 1. Roley's really, you can see the movement you were talking about early on has been kind of tempting for this Pekin offense. They're swinging, but just not quite getting where they need. Is the second pitch, 0-2, caught swinging again.
And I'm sure Pekin's head coach probably went over that before the game and said, guys, you just got to keep on swinging. Obviously, don't swing anything out of the zone or anything in the dirt for that matter, but if it looks good, again, reaction times are going to be tested here today. I'd at least try to put a bat on it.
As the third pitch is a strike, and that will end the first inning. A lot of what we saw early is kind of what we expected. We expected Morton's pitching to be really, really good, and it was exactly that. But for Pekin, defensively, they didn't let up a run, and that was their game plan going into it. So we'll see how they can keep that up.
Yeah, I could definitely see this game potentially being a pitcher's duel. We've seen Busby pitch a couple times so far this year. So, again, Busby also a very strong pitcher for this Pekin rotation, and again, really could be a game of maybe who gets to 2 or who gets to 3 first. Maybe, who knows, maybe we've got a 1-0 ball game. You never know what you're going to be in for. But again, could also change on a dime, and we could be looking at maybe like a 10-8 ball game too. So you never know.
Well, this Pekin team we talked about earlier being a super high offense, but also they've had some games where it's been pretty low scoring. So Keegan Busby, as he gets farther into the season, gets more comfortable with his pitching. We'll see how that can turn the defensive capabilities of this Pekin roster around. But we already know what the Morton team can do for that. So like you said, it could be low scoring, could be high scoring. We'll just have to wait and see.
Should be a fun game, and one thing I would just notice, Teddy, is, again, we'll get into it more later, the abnormalities, shall we say, of this field here in Pekin, but this is a nice crowd of fans there, just sort of not really along the left field foul line, but from the dugout extended, got their lawn chairs out, enjoying today's game.
Quite a few people just camping out back there.
So usually you see them obviously hanging out, maybe a little closer to the bleachers, maybe closer to home play there. A lot of Dragon fans are content to hang out maybe a little bit past third base. They want to be in foul ball territory. Bring home some souvenirs, maybe.
Second pitch is in. After that first, it's a 1-0 count. Now 1-1. And that ball hit deep into left field. And that one is gone. Morton, solo home run. Austin Davis. Oh, spelling a little off there. But Austin Davis with a big hit early in the game, and that's really what you don't want for Pekin, and exactly what you wanted for Morton. Morton needed to get on the board early to battle this high-powered offense, and Pekin, it's tough to get on board when you got a pitcher like Doley on the mound. So early here in the second, that's a big game changer, John.
Yeah, just a big jolt of energy there from Davis. And it was funny, Teddy. I was just talking with our fellow crew member, Rodrigo Perez, over at the controls right now. And he said, have you ever seen a home run in a high school baseball game? And I want to put out there, I haven't been to a ton of high school baseball games. I've been to a lot of minor league games, a couple MLB games as well, lots of Bradley baseball games. But I've not seen at least an over-the-fence home run in high school baseball, actually, in my limited time. So big shot there for Davis. Almost looked like it could have maybe hit one of the pickup trucks out there, but big solo shot. And you mentioned that'll energize Morton and get them going.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't park my car there.
That's why I parked a little bit further out in the parking lot. I didn't want to take my chances.
And there we go, ball 4 early on. On base, they're coming up to bat, Tanner Spangler. One interesting thing about this Pekin field that commonly gets brought up is the big hill in right field. It's a unique part about Pekin, but also a special thing about Pekin. Don't see a lot of homers going over that wall, that's for sure, John.
No, what you do see, though, is a couple right fielders falling down. I'm sure Pekin's right fielder, Nolan Schaefer, is obviously probably a little bit more acclimated to it, maybe knows that hill a little bit more. But seeing videos of players trying to scale the hill, and they sort of just, they're obviously looking up at the ball. It's tough to, look up and also run uphill at the same time. Obviously, I'm not the poster child athlete. That's why there's a reason I'm here in the booth right now, but and I'm also in the fact that I'm not in high school. That would also explain it. As that pass ball, looks like Baylor Wilkinson drew the walk. He'll advance over to second.
Now 1-2 count for Busby. Up on the count now after going 0-4 4-0 on the walk, but trying to get his confidence back after that homer. But I'd say that's definitely a unique ability that the Pekin outfielders can use to their advantages, knowing that hill is there when a lot of teams definitely don't. As that is a strikeout for Keegan Busby for the first out of the inning. Now coming up, Owen Adams, the shortstop, the freshman on varsity.
Yeah, Owen Adams getting the varsity start today. He playing at Shortstop excited to see what he can do. Obviously, anytime there's a freshman in the lineup, whether it's any sport, whether it's football or basketball, means that they got some talent for sure. So, batting in the 8 hole, obviously runner on second. Don't think a sacrifice would be too conducive here, but we'll see what Owen Adams can do when he swings away.
Check swing. Do count it as a strike, 1-1. Busby watching the runner on second. That one is a little high and outside for the second ball, 2-1.
That one looks like it just got away from Busby a little bit, came high and in. So now Adams has got the advantage. If he takes the right pitch here, could put him up 3-1. Ball low in the dirt. That'll should make it a 3-1 count.
There we go, full count, 3-2 for Busby. That's exactly what he needed. So you can kind of hear the Morton dugout. Talked about it in the first inning, but they're chirping here again, trying to get in ahead of Busby. And it might work with the second walk of the inning.
Oh,
A 2 on. Runners first and second.
Coming to the plate for the Morton Potters, the center fielder, number 11, J.B. Kruzik.
Here comes J.B. Kruzik to bat, number 11, the junior.
Oh, yeah, and anytime you start off the inning with a home run and then a walk, obviously not ideal. He came back with the strikeout there of Spankler, but this one is big. If he can get Kruzik to grind into a double play, that'd be ideal if you were the Pekin Dragons. Obviously, you'll take any out with the leadoff hitter Newhoff on deck. Kruzik, the center fielder, is a junior.
It's like 1-1 after that second pitch. Sorry, 2-0. A little shifted up here.
And he didn't go, so that'll be ball 3. So Busby in danger of putting bases loaded with all 3 of them reaching via the walk. And then you got Newhoff, Ryman, and Hurst lurk at the top of the lineup. Big pitch here.
Now 3-1 count. This is one of the things I noticed in the game against Washington when I was there. Keegan Busby was on the mound in that game as well. A lot of full counts, but not a lot of people got on base and not a whole lot of scoring opportunities. But when he was relieved later on in the game, it seemed to continue. So hopefully Pekin can get down and get more into the strike zone, because that's what's been pretty effective for Morton early on. Not a lot of balls.
Yeah, and to your point, Busby's been effective in fighting back. He did so here. Now count it full, but
another walk. Bases loaded. Only 1 out here in the second. Now up to bat, number 5, Brooks Newhoff, left fielder.
It's like Pekin's going to have a little conference on the mound there. Braylon Smith went out to talk with Busby and the rest of the infield, and a little bar in the way there, but how about we maybe see if we can get a look at that hill over there in right field? There you see it, but on the chain link fence. Hopefully it's visible on your screen. You can sort of see where there's some green, and then the fence just seems to be sitting on top of where the field is. And, well, you'd be right. The field is, I'd say that's maybe about 8 to 10 foot tall hill right there. So
comes out of nowhere.
It certainly does. A lot harder to hit those home runs over to right field. Not really. I guess you can maybe say it's sort of, obviously, Fenway Park, you got the Green Monster. That's over in left field. There you got the mini Green Monster, except it's natural and it's in right field.
The natural mini Green Monster for Pekin. And that one smacked right in between third and short. One Morton will score, sorry.
That ball is getting away almost. Another one came home, but held him up at third. That'll be a line drive double for Brooks Newhoff. Now put 2 runners on in scoring position with just 1 out. So
dangerous position for Pekin to be in here early on. Still down 1-0 on the count. Got to finish this at bat before you can even think about ending the inning. A 1. That ball a little high as well. 1-1.
Apologies there. We had a mix up on the scoreboard. It is Morton 3, Pekin nothing. Sorry for the confusion there and a little bit of a mishap. I'll take the blame for that one, but Morton off to a good start. And again, both runners in scoring position, 1 out. Tough position because if you walk Ryman intentionally, which obviously they're not doing, that would bring up number 3 batter, Ethan Hurst, who's obviously dangerous. And again, though, any ground ball or decently deep fly ball, you can probably bet that GB Kruzik is probably going to be getting a good lead and trying to run home as fast as he can.
Now a 2-2 count. That one hit just as well as the last, right in between third and short, as one will score. And that pitch high above the second baseman.
He's going to second. Good aware base running there from Nolan Ryman, who saw that the throw was going to first, coming in from Scotty Jordan in left field, but takes advantage of it. Once he saw it going to first, no one was really there to cut it off, so he took advantage, scoots into second. So Morton in the same exact position they were just in, except with 1 more run on the board.
Yeah, they've already here in the second inning doubled what they scored in the last matchup against Pekin, so they went in the film room and know exactly how to battle this team, but we got a lot of baseball left to play. Certainly not over by any means.
Now, we've seen some pretty good comebacks here on Clutch Sports Media, and the small sampling of baseball games that we've seen this spring. In Eureka and Washington, the Panthers had a late comeback that fell just short, and then again, just last week when Pekin and Washington played, Pekin went up 7-2 in the top of the 10th, I believe. It went to extra innings. I can't remember exactly if it was the 9th or 10th, but Pekin went up 7-2. It looked like Washington was all but done for. And then they came back with 3 runs, put some more runners on base, and another base hit, maybe another home run would have tied up the game, but the Dragons were able to close the door.
No biting for sure, but Pekin were able to come out with the victory, especially with these 2 evenly matched teams. Now 3-0 on the count, but these 2 evenly matched teams, 3rd and 4th in the Mid-Illini, never know what can happen.
Well, one thing I can tell you that will happen was that Ethan Hurst was going to take the pitch there on the 3-0, make him throw a strike, and now he's probably got the green light to swing. Hurst struck out looking his first time back in the first.
Ball 4, another walk for Busby. Now bases loaded again for Morton. Coming up, Braylon Smith, the catcher.
The Morton Potters, the catcher, number 22, Braylon Smith.
And looks like unless Smith grounds in a double play, Morton is going to bat around here this inning. So Busby really needs an out here. You can certainly go down giving up maybe a couple and, keeping them within reach. But big hit here, especially one that goes deep in the outfield, could really sort of bust this game open early on.
First pitch called strike for Busby, 0-1. That ball a little outside, 1-1.
Smith flew out to right field back in the first inning. That was part of a 1-2-3 ended to the first by the Dragons, 2 of them being fly outs to right field. Nice pitch there from Busby again.
It's been tough for this Pekin team. a few of their hits that they've let up have been right in between the infield. So you want to be able to trust your infielders, but when you have so many people on base you got to watch out for, it's tough as that pitch has a little bit of contact, but just foul. 1-2.
And again, both of the hits where Morton has RBIs, other than the home run from Austin Davis to lead off the inning, both of them have sort of been balls that have been just a bit out of reach by Trey Roberson and Brady Bolin over at third and short, respectively. Both of them haven't been hit necessarily extremely hard, although Newhoff's line drive was a little bit more of a heater, but just hitting at the right spots and getting enough velocity on it where the reaction time from the infielders is slowed.
Now a full count, 3-2.
Big pitch here for Busby. He's already had 4 walks here in the inning. Doesn't want to have a 5th because that would also bring in another run for Morton.
That one fouled off to keep the inning, or keep the at-bat alive. Braylon Smith being pretty patient out there, but knows what to look at.
That was a good pitch there from Busby. Wasn't quite enough for Smith to get much on it, but location was good.
And there's the strikeout for Busby. Much needed confidence booster there, trying to get out of the inning. But here comes a familiar face. Austin Davis, A.J. Davis up to bat. Familiar face for Busby. He hit the solo shot at the beginning of the inning.
See how Busby approaches him. You see there, went low and away, trying to pitch away from him. And obviously, Busby definitely not scared is the word, but he's definitely aware of what Davis can do. Obviously, the wind's blowing, and you got full bases. I think here you just got to give him something to swing. If he doesn't hit it, obviously that's great if you're Pekin, but if he does, Pekin's got to just trust your defense to make the play.
2-0 count for Busby, and that one fouled off far right side.
We picked up this press box, which is easier said than done. A lot easier said than done, I will say, and moved it maybe about, 30, 40 feet to the right. That would have been coming right in our grill, as that pitch just came in Austin Davis's grill.
Yeah, that was really close. 3-1 now for Pekin. Speaking of press box, during the Washington game, there was a ball that was hit right in front of us, and it hit the net, and there also would have came in, and Owen, one of the broadcasters in that game, he would have caught the ball. It was looking like it was going right at him. So,
well, you were at that game, Ted. You could have reached over and maybe grabbed it from him. It depends on how greedy you are.
I don't know if my athletic ability, that's why I'm up here, John, like you said earlier. I don't know if I would have been able to catch that ball. That ball outside. Another walk for Pekin, and another run scores. 5-0 for Morton.
Really, Busby, again, is not like Morton's hitting them too terribly hard. They just have only 3 hits in the game. I see all of them for extra bases, but really for him it's been the walks that have been the Achilles heel for the Dragons so far.
Head coach Matt Emmons coming to the mound. It's like going to talk with his pitcher.
It's like it's going to be a pitching change. He's signaled to his center fielder, David Hartwell. Looks like he'll be coming in to play center. Looks like Busby will replace him, so pretty simple switch. Busby comes in, or goes out to the outfield, and Hartwell comes in. So we'll see what Hartwell can do in relief. You mentioned you seen him in a relief appearance earlier this year.
Yeah, Hartwell was definitely crucial in that win, and what could have been a upset loss. I guess it would be a mid-game upset because they did take the lead after being down, but he definitely helped Pekin win that game, and he's got a lot of velocity, and you can see on the mound here. But coming up to bat, Boiler Wilkinson, number 99, he's already came through once. Sorry, Baylor Wilkinson. My apologies.
I want to step in and say that any name mispronunciations were my fault. I wrote down the lineups, and my handwriting, like my athletic ability, not the best out there. Sometimes it can be good, but we're a little rushed, so, it happens. You're writing stuff down, and O turns into an A, or an A turns into an O, or anything like that. But Wilkinson walked his first time up, so Hartwell gives Pekin another chance to maybe sort of start new.
Looking pretty good in this warm-up, though. Pekin just looking to close the inning out here and go into the third. Sorry, go into the bottom of the second. With a little bit more confidence.
Yeah, definitely. And this is certainly after that very quick 1, 2, 3, almost perfect inning from Tate Roley in the bottom of the first. Morton's taking their time in this inning. It's obviously a good sign if you're rooting for the Potters. Now the 10th at bat of the inning for them.
And I got the chance to talk to Pekin coach Matt Emmons ahead of this game on what it would mean to get another win over Morton as that pitch. Real close. Looking for the count. I think it's 2-0. But Coach Emmons, when I asked him, he said it would mean a lot to win this game. If we win this game, it puts us back in the conversation for the Mid-Illini title, and that's something you definitely want. There's like a little confusion here at third base, but that's something you definitely want. Both of these teams competitive enough that they can make that push. So this matchup is key today.
Certainly, and Pekin really improved team from last year. Again, looking at these are unofficial records right now, but so they went 8-12 last year, the 5-8 mark in the Mid-Illini Conference. So they're almost already at last season's win total, and
that ball hit deep into right field towards the little green
that's
monster
trouble.
wall. And
that's a grand salami off the card windshield.
Like I said, I said earlier, that one you don't see too much, but here in the same inning as we saw the other home run, that one far deep right side hits a cop car. Oh my!
Oh boy!
He might be in trouble there.
Baylor Wilkinson better hope he doesn't get a call with reimbursement from the Pekin Police Department. That ball took a bounce when.
He's gonna be charged for murder of that baseball. That's for sure.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, he definitely abused that baseball there, and you see the police car's got his door open. Looks like initial look again to the naked eye. Doesn't look like there's any damage. They make those police cars pretty tough, so does any cracked windshields, but I'm sure that the officer over there got a little wake up call and just maybe taking a little rest. Well, he's awake now.
And that ball hit deep left field. Looks like it will be brought in to end the top of the second. What a way to end it, though. 9-0 for Morton early on. Just a great showing offensively, and defensively held Pekin to a shutout to this point. So very entertaining, to say the least. Let's hope the best for that cop car.
Yeah, you get another look at the the vehicle that was struck. We also, again, back in the first inning, Austin Davis hit a big shot to left field that reached the parking lot on the fly. I didn't see if that thing. There's a black pickup truck out there, where right next to where a couple of fans are sitting. That was, I think the ball hit the bed of the truck, but a couple feet shorter, and that thing is probably going through the windshield. Quite honestly, because that one was a rocket. And again, we mentioned how hard it was to hit home runs over across the right field fence, but Baylor Wilkinson made it look easy. He's got a lot of power in that swing.
And the cop is throwing the baseball back over the fence.
There it is.
Probably got a ticket stuck to it or something for Baylor Wilkinson.
Oh, too funny. Too funny. You see something to do at the ballpark every day. Obviously in baseball, it's America's pastime. There's been lots of baseball games, and just in the history of the country, I can't say there's probably hasn't been too many where the ball is hit and struck a cop car as a result of a home run. So
definitely
I like to see
unique.
the percentage of how many baseball games involve a police car that was hit. But Pekin, obviously, they're after the 8-run eighth from Morton. This has got to be a inning for them to at least start to, at least make some baby steps. Obviously it's easier said than done against Roley, Just getting the ball in play, giving yourself a chance to get on base. That's where it all starts for the Dragons. Again, still early in this game.
Now up to bat, Logan Booth, the first baseman and junior for Pekin. That ball looks to be ball 1-0.
And if you're just tuning in, Tate Roley struck out every single batter that he faced in the first inning. All of them were of the swinging variety, so Pekin struggled to get a beat on the future Bradley Brave, but I know as they obviously go down through the lineup and you get to see him again for the second time, makes things a lot easier.
Get a little bit more familiar with it. Now 2-0 count for Roley. That ball fouled out to the right side, way out there.
Yeah, as our camera operator Patrick Huber noted, there's lots of foul territory out there. There's a little bit of a short fence that extends out past the dugout, but there's a lot of green grass over there. Thought I saw potentially some runners doing some exercises, some running sprints. I don't know what exactly it was, but all sort of part of this whole athletic complex here at Pekin. You got the tennis courts over to the left, the football stadium where we were many times back in the fall behind us, and across the street, obviously, you got the actual building of the high school and Dottie Hawkins Gymnasium.
Now full count, but yeah, it was me and Patrick were coming up to the press box. We saw the track team practicing, and obviously the baseball game getting underway. Logan Booth goes down swinging for the first out.
What a game being put together by Tate Roley early on. I mean, it's no small feat to retire your first 4 batters, but to make all of them strikeouts is something you got to keep an eye on. So, again, I don't know what Tate Roley's personal record for strikeouts in the game is, but he's on pace to strike out every single one of them so far.
He's on pace. The crazy thing to think about that is that's probably the more common occurrence than hitting a home run off a cop car. So,
yeah, I mean, again, I don't know what exactly the percentages or odds were of that, but yeah, certainly I think with Tate Roley's talent and at least what he's shown so far here today, I think that's would be a more common and at least normally a more common occurrence than hitting that poor old squad car with the home run ball.
Now 2-1 count. We're seeing a lot of movement in Roley's pitches. It's really crazy. We saw it in warm-ups how much movement he has, and in game it's been no different.
That's Trey Roberson now up for Pekin, the third baseman, and batting 5th. He's a senior.
3-sport athlete, Roberson.
Football,
basketball, baseball.
I was just about to mention, I've seen Trey Roberson a couple times. It's a familiar name on Clutch Sports Media.
3-1 count. He goes down swinging. Sorry, not go down, but swings there. 3-2, full count.
See what Roley decides to do here. We've seen him use strike 3 as a pitch to go with the off speed. We've also seen him use it as a heater, so.
That one fouled off, rocketed all the way out to the practice field of the football arena.
Yeah, good contact there from Roberson, but those foul balls have been all they've been able to muster against Roley so far today. They've made some good, solid contact, just not in the field of play.
Goes down swinging again. The 5th strikeout for Roley. Now 2 down here in the bottom of the second.
Oh, my score sheet in front of me, it's pretty simple for Tate Roley. Next to his name, it's 5 Ks all in a row as Busby, the pitcher, digs in. He's a junior with a chance to, I was going to say help his own cause, but Hartwell relieved him on the mound.
First ball outside, 1-0. 1-1.
Nice low strike there from Roley. We've seen him alternate balls and strikes pretty well. And obviously, if you're a pitcher, the best approach isn't always just to throw strike after strike after strike. Obviously, it's ideal maybe if you're painting the corners, but you don't want to give him too many hittable pitches. But Roley doing a good job of testing out each Pekin batter as he sees them and tries to figure out what are they going to swing at, what won't they swing at.
And
More
so
often than
far,
not,
there's been a lot of swinging.
Yeah, so more often than not, he's been correct.
2-1 count.
Ball outside now, a 3-1, so Busby can certainly take here. He can try and swing away one of the first 3-1 counts we've seen a Pekin batter face today.
That ball fouled off to the right again. Morton coach throwing in some of his own.
And Morton, a team with just very high expectations this year. Obviously, they had a good squad last year, but a lot of players returning, and so they certainly have a deep postseason run on the mind for them.
That one high. The first non-strikeout for Roley as Busby gets on base.
With a runner on first base and 2 outs, it brings to the plate for the Pekin Dragons the second baseman, number 7, Tate Schaefer.
Now up to bat, the senior second baseman, Tate Schaefer.
As the first base runner that Pekin's had today, they still haven't put a ball in play yet, so hopefully the Morton fielders are staying engaged out there. They know that when Tate's on the mound, their job is just a bit easier.
Now 1-1 count. One thing Pekin does that I really like is some teams do it, but not all of them. The walkout music.
Yeah,
a pretty cool aspect of the game.
Yeah, definitely. I liked the Superheroes by Metro Boomin. That's what Tate Schaefer selected. Big fan of that song, as I'm sure a lot of players on the Dragon squad are, maybe even some of our viewers.
1-2's the count. That one outside. 2-2.
Teddy, I have an interesting story about Metro Boomin, but I don't know. We'll not sure if we'll get to it on this 2-2 pitch here. Maybe later in the broadcast or on the ride home.
So stay tuned if that one comes up.
Tate Roley booming with another strikeout. That's now 7 out of 8. All of his outs that recorded have been as strikeouts.
He's had 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. I think that's a pretty good ratio.
Coming to the plate for the Morton Potters,
Pekin got their first base runner, but weren't able to do anything with him. So Morton will get another chance. Big inning here for Hartwell. Already Pekin's given up 9, but can't really afford to give up too much more. We'll see how he approaches the inning.
Oh, looks there has been a pitching change. Looks like Luke Goss on the mound. So after a half inning, Hartwell is relieved as well. So Luke Goss warming up here for the Dragons.
Also, we have one of our own crew members warming up here. We're having a little fun today. We're going to pass my headset over to our producer, Rodrigo Perez. We'll have the next couple innings with you, Teddy. So Rodrigo is, again, he's at the 6th today. Patrick Huber, our camera operator, want to give them a big shout out. Wonder where I'm going. I'm going down. I'm going to go snap some pictures of nice day, good lighting out there, and get some flicks. Keep an eye on our social media page for any pictures that we had today. But Teddy and Rodrigo will have your call for the next couple innings at least.
John, on your way out, let's see if you can get a picture of that cop car and see what the damages are.
I'll see if, well, it looks like he's just pulling away now.
Gotta go to the repair shop.
Wonder if our camera, there we go. What a shot by Patrick Huber. That's why we pay him the big bucks, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see where he's going. Maybe he's coming closer. Now he wants to get hit by a home run over in left field. He just wants to catch them all.
He's hiding behind another cop car.
That's why they're maybe discussing the damage or lack thereof of the home run by Baylor Wilkinson. Again, big grand slam. But Rigo, over to you and Teddy now in the booth.
Thanks, John. How's it going, Teddy?
It's going good, Rodrigo. Happy to have you. Now Owen Adams stepping up to bat, the freshman.
Potters had a very, very active second quarter.
Yeah, the second inning for the Potters was
Yeah, second
entertaining.
inning.
8 runs, I believe.
Still on that basketball mentality right there.
Basketball season, very entertaining with Rodrigo and the rest of the crew. But now a 2-0 count for Goss. Interesting pitching exchange, Rodrigo, after that half inning of David Hartwell pitching to close it out. But looked like they decided to switch it up to more fresh legs.
Yeah, I'm glad they're giving a couple of people some chances to pitch, especially we're about halfway through the season now. Just trying to see a little bit how everyone's doing, both mentally and physically.
Yeah, and a game of this quality with a 3-0, now a first walk for Luke Goss, but a game of this caliber, third and fourth ranked teams in the Mid-Illini, you definitely want to get your pitchers allocated with the higher competition levels, but Pekin trying to battle back with one runner on first base, and J.B. Kruzik up to bat, the center fielder.
Yeah, Pekin have quite a bit of traversing to do with these 9 runs that they let in the second inning. So we'll see. There's still a lot of baseball to play, so we'll see how they do.
We've seen 2 homers here already, Rodrigo. It's quite a bit of action just from Morton's side, so exciting to see if Pekin can battle their way back.
Yeah, 2 homers, one on the left side of the field, the other on the right side on the field.
Morton dugout staying active with the trash talk. It's been pretty interesting. I bet we can probably hear some Pekin trash talk, but the window's closed on the left side. But now 2-1 is the count for Goss.
Definitely reminds me a lot about Bradley softball. They don't do trash talk, but they do encourage their batters whenever they go up. So that's kind of what it reminded me of, Teddy.
Just seems like the opposite for these two. And they are encouraging their batter as well as throwing in some shade to the pitcher.
Doing a little bit of both.
Now 2-2 count for Goss. And that ball into the dirt. Owen Adams goes to second, looking for third, but decides to stay at 2. Now I say we look for Goss to keep an eye on the second baseman. He knows he's a little active.
Yeah, I think as a pitcher you get a little nervous when you got people around you.
And that ball hit over the second baseman, fielded by right fielder Nolan Schaefer, rocketed into the first baseman. And Owen Adams stays at third, no runs, but quite close there.
Yeah, it looked like Adams was trying to see if he could make it back home, but he, of course, didn't have enough time, so he decided to play it safe, which I think is fair, considering how Morton doesn't have any outs yet.
It's also safe because up to bat, number 5, Brooks Newhoff, the senior, he's been on base here early on with the 2-run double base, or sorry, the double that brought in 2 runs on the RBI, but pretty active swinging the bat. New pitcher, though, so we'll see how that goes. First pitch, a little high, 1-0. Catcher throws it over. The second baseman, Tate Schaefer, but just a little short. I got runners on second and third, both in scoring position with no outs for the Potters. 2-0 count for Newhoff.
You'd consider that a steal, right, Teddy?
I'd say so, yeah. Like, it was a kind of a freebie. You get in there, throw a little bit short, but swing and a miss for J.B. Kruzik. Sorry, Brooks Newhoff. Kruzik advances to second base on the steal. 2-1. Check swing there will count 2-2. Kruzik showing off some dance moves there at second, but not able to get in the head of Luke Goss, as that's a strikeout. Now coming up to bat, Nolan Ryman, the second baseman,
With one out, coming to the plate for the Morton Potters, the
also
second
hit a
baseman,
double,
number 18, Nolan
brought in a
Ryan.
run in the second. First pitch swing, 0-1. That one fouled off. Getting some contact on it, but 0-2 for Ryman. Rodrigo, I think we should give you some credit here for being on the call, writing down the spreadsheet, and keeping up with the score. So you're doing a great job.
It's not an easy task. I'm barely keeping up with everything, but
You're making it work.
you know, we got to do what we got to do.
That ball low in the dirt, 1-2. Made contact right past second base into center field, and one score will run, and there goes another. Now an 11-0 lead for Morton. Frustration seems to be building a little bit. First baseman talking to the pitcher on the mound.
At bat for the Morton Potters, the third baseman, number 9, Ethan Hurst.
Comes Ethan Hurst, the third baseman, up to bat.
So far, we're seeing two very different games, Teddy. Obviously, Moore and Pekin met each other just this Monday, and I think Pekin took that one 4-2.
Pekin came out with the win 4-2, and that's a much different game than what we have now. Like you said, lower scoring game, but also just in terms of both teams just have played completely opposite of what they have. But Morton has really brought on the heat early and learned from the loss on Monday. Pekin still searching for their rhythm early on.
Potters definitely took that one personally, would you say, Teddy?
Oh yeah, after the second being up 9-0, it's kind of hard. But one team is able to do it is this Pekin squad. We saw it against Washington. Battle back a little bit and get back in that game. What was a slower game early on, but this one could be quite the opposite. Fast game early on, and hopefully both defenses try to step up.
Definitely excited to see how this game evolves as we get through some more innings.
Now a 2-2 count for Goss. And that ball right over the first baseman, Logan Booth, fielded by Nolan Schaefer, caught by his hand. Throws it right in, but looks like another run will score for Morton. Looks like he wanted them to stay at third base, coach, but he decided to go. 12-0.
That was a great hit. We've definitely seen quite a few hits already towards that left-hand side of the field.
At bat for the Morton Potters, the catcher, number 22, Braylon Smith.
Yeah, the batting has really been all over the place for Morton in a good way. We've seen a couple liners right in between third and short. We've seen some pop flies that land right in between the second baseman and center fielder where nobody can get to it. And we've seen some hard struck balls outside of the gates as well. So they've really done a good job at spreading it around, keeping Pekin on their toes.
They're really keeping those Dragon fielders just guessing.
It's been tough early on. 0-1 is the count. Up to bat, Braylon Smith. Oh, 2 count now. Goss has been able to get in front of the count this past few at-bats, but just looking for that second out. Staring down the runner on first, making sure he doesn't steal.
Also
1-2 count.
I was just going to mention, we're also getting a bunch of sun just coming in and out on the field.
Very sunny day. You're right, Rodrigo.
It's a great day for baseball. I don't know if you guys got much rain here in Pekin, but over in Peoria we did get a couple of about 15-20 minutes of rain.
It's definitely cleared up now for the next few innings of baseball. Should be pretty good. Goes on swinging again. That's another strikeout for Goss. Now up to the plate, Austin Davis.
For the Morton Potters, the right fielder, number 3, A.J. Davis.
Got a runner on first, 2 outs. A lot better situation than the bottom of the second, Rodrigo, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely, Teddy. So far, the Potters have been able to increase their score by 3. So I don't think that's a bad inning for the Potters at all.
I was referring to the end of the inning for the Dragons last inning after letting up 8 runs.
Oh yeah, they've also had a pretty good one as well.
But still, you don't want to allow 3 in any inning, but coming off an inning where you allow 8, it's definitely a little bit of a positive as that one fouled off. 1-2 count.
Definitely
2
a
away.
positive, trying to just limit as much damage as possible, considering how we're only in the
Third inning.
Third inning, yeah.
Bottom of the third, looking to go to the fourth with another strike. And that one hit right in between the third baseman and shortstop yet again. Runner will advance to first and second. And this one's not over yet.
With 2 outs coming to the plate for the Morton Potters, the DH.
And look who's coming up to bat. Wilkinson.
Baylor Wilkinson. He's made his way through the lineup a few times already, but definitely a guy that can put some power behind his swing.
Definitely saw it last inning with that incredible hit to right field, and I think it bounced once and hit a cop car.
Definitely looking to remake that magic. He swings on the first pitch, 0-1. But I'd say it's probably a smart idea for that cop car to move where he did. Seems like he got out of here.
Hopefully he didn't completely leave. You know, you never know when something might happen, but I'm sure he stuck around. Oh, I think I actually see him over on left-hand field.
There we go. Stuck around for us. Now 1-1 count. 2 away. Some Aaron Judge chants come from the Morton dugout. Referring to the power as now a 2-1 count.
You got a favorite baseball team, Teddy? In the
I'm a Cubs
majors?
fan. I'm a
Oh,
Cubs fan.
you're a Cubs fan. You're
Yeah.
one of those then.
I'm one of those. Got some support from some people here in the booth, but all I'm saying, Cubs are higher in the standings for NL Central than the Cardinals are right now. So
You're not doing too bad. I'm a White Sox fan, so I'm not
Okay.
particularly enjoying this first early season. But, you know, we're still in first months of baseball.
early bit of baseball, just like this game, early in the game, anything can happen the remainder of the season. But 2-2 count here for Wilkinson. He's been one to swing, so see how the rest of this at-bat goes. Swing and a miss to end the inning for Goss. And escape a chance to put some runs of your own on the board.
A relief, probably a relief for Goss, just knowing that what Wilkinson did last inning, being able to strike him out, probably, I'm sure, is giving the Pekin Dragons a lot of confidence heading into the top of the fourth.
Yeah, you go through at this point in the game, gone through lineup a few times, but at the other side, going up to bat, you got to go against a great pitcher. So the battle is not over offensively. It's you still got to put a lot of pressure and try to get some runs of your own. But like you said, it's good to get out of that inning and just escape it.
Coming to the plate for the Pekin Dragons, number 10, Scotty Jordan, number 18, Brady Bolin, and number 3, Nolan Schaefer.
Up to bat next, Scotty Jordan. He's a two-sport athlete, Pekin quarterback as well. Led them to what was a great season, going pretty far into the playoffs. But now, looking to lead off this bottom of the third.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. We're not in the fourth yet. We're in the bottom of the third.
Oh, did I say fourth?
No, I said fourth.
Oh, okay.
You're good.
Oh, I think I was
you
thinking
corrected
fourth
me,
as
yeah.
well. Music bumping up here. Not no Metro Boomin', so John Dog might be a little upset, but still some good jams.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely one of the things I've liked, just being here, getting that little walk-up music in. It's always special.
Interesting. I think once we go through a few times, we can probably put a review list up here, but so far, no bad ones, that's for sure.
Number 10, Scotty Jordan.
First pitch is a strike, 0-1. Tate Roley, he's had a great game early on. All six of the outs for Pekin have come via strikeout from him. They've gotten one man on base to a walk, but now he's down. He's up 0-2 for a chance to get number 7 here in just the third inning.
He's definitely figured out. That secret to the Dragons batting, because he's just been on fire.
And that's the first base hit. There's Scotty Jordan, first base hit for the Dragons. Way to get back into rhythm a little bit. But as we were just talking, going for strikeout number 7, and now it's hit number 1 for the Dragons. That's going to be some confidence booster going into the rest of the game.
Definitely, Teddy, and that's honestly a great start to this inning, especially when you're down by 12. You just need those little wins, just getting that base hit.
Just battle your way back. Now up to bat, Brady Bolin, shortstop. First pitch called strike, 0-1. We know the base running aggressiveness of this Pekin team. Coach Matt Emmons holds the third place all-time record for most steals in IHSA history. So definitely he did that back with his former team, Henry. But now he's carried over a lot of that aggressiveness to this Pekin team. Is Scotty Jordan leading off quite a bit, but 2-1 count.
I definitely always like to see a good, strong base running team, and I'm looking forward to seeing a bit more of that from both sides.
When I've talked to Matt Emmons before, one of the things he talked about was he felt like he had to do a lot of, that pitch tries to pick him off, but bobbled by the first baseman. Scotty Jordan advances to second. But one of the things he says was a lot of times with his old team, the reason why they had so many steals was because weren't the overall highest numbers or highest average in batters. So a lot of times they had to get crafty to get on base or advance. So that's kind of what we're seeing early here tonight. Got like a water bottle tumbling through my second base. Swings at that pitch. 2-2 count for Bolin.
Oh, that water bottle. I was wondering which one you were referring to.
I kind of noticed it coming, and no, but still tumbling. Third pitch, swinging for the first out. Strikeout number 7 for Roley.
At bat for the Pekin Dragons, number 8, Connor Martin.
Now up to bat, Connor Martin. I believe his first at bat. I don't see him on the lineups for today, but first pitch swinging. 0-1. Second pitch, again swinging, 0-2.
We're really starting to feel a little bit of that heat in the broadcasting
I
booth.
had to take my jacket off. It's a little hot.
I feel you.
At bat for the Pekin Dragons,
Just took a
number
look at the
6,
weather. I'm like, yeah,
Jameson
I don't
Knight.
think I'll need a sweater or anything like that.
Well, that and Tate Roley's throwing with a lot of heat right now as well, so maybe that's affecting you with another strikeout there. Make it 8 for Roley, 2 away. Can't quite see who's up to bat for Pekin. Jamison Knight, thank you. More help from people in the booth, but that one was not on the list. Number 6, Jamison Knight. First pitch swinging 0-1. Roley's done a good job at that first pitch, making him swing so he can get ahead in the count, and then at that point he's been able to do a lot of what he wants to.
Definitely, he's had a lot of control on his. And John, and you mentioned his stance and his positioning, and just the intricacies of his pitching have just been great.
Ball 1. Sorry, strike 2. Roley looking to make another 3 strikeout inning. And he does. Make it 9 now for Roley.
Back to business for Roley after that, the single from Jordan for the Dragons.
Yeah, we talked about that and how it can gain confidence, which it can. You know that he's not invincible out there on the mound. You're able to get a hit, but still, it's going to be a challenge to battle back and learn the style of Roley, because he's thrown a lot of different things out there. But
yeah, just keep the Dragons guessing. I think we might see him the whole game potentially we'll see.
New pitcher on the mound for the Pekin Dragons, number 21, Eli Wendell.
We got another pitching change after one inning of Luke Goss, but Eli Wendell looks to go out there talking to his catcher, Brock Lavin. Coach Matt Emmons, we talked about it earlier, trying to get looks for all his players in a high-quality matchup, but throwing anything he can at this Morton team, keeping them on their toes. See how he looks in warm-ups.
Yeah, we'll definitely see how number 24 Spangler from Morton will fare against him. Fresh pitcher, he might be a little cool. We'll see if he can warm up fast or see how he fares.
You said first baseman Tanner Spangler coming up to bat to start the fourth inning. A lot of interesting stuff early on in this game. It's been a fun game. Besides the day overall, great weather, some funny things that's happened, including the hitting the cop car in the second inning. But
definitely the highlight of the game so far for me.
we'll see. There's a few more innings to go, but that one it's gonna be hard to top.
Yeah, it really is, and the weather's been nice. Quite a few Pekin. I'm sure there's a couple Morton fans also came out to this game.
That's one thing about Mid-Illini baseball. All the fans, especially, we've seen it a lot when teams go far, like Pekin football during the football season. Metamora basketball in the state finals was something crazy to see. But even just any everyday regular season game like this, you get some fans that come out and show support to their teams.
Yeah, especially Pekin. Just driving to Pekin, you can see some Go Dragons signs up on some businesses.
And that ball rocketed out to left field, high and outside, and that's another home run for Morton. 2 left field bombs already. No cars hit on that one, I can say confidently. Got some fans out and left trying to catch the ball, but another homer for Morton, now 13 zip.
What a way to start the top of the fourth. Home run, left-hand side of the field. And yeah, like you said, some fans were kind of trying to get that ball. Maybe if they would have had a mitt, they might have been able to grab it.
It looked like that one went past the second row of cars, so even the fans sitting close weren't even able to go after, but there looks like a little search going on.
It definitely is incredible how much home runs we've seen in this high school game. Like, I haven't watched that much high school baseball, but to this game we've already had 3 home runs. Like, that's incredible.
It's enjoyable baseball if you're into the offensive side of the ball, but now a 0-1 count. But probably not great for confidence. That ball hit high and outside, not able to be fielded. Foul ball.
Definitely lots of space to run on that left-hand field side.
There's a good 40, 50 feet of area to track that ball down, even on both sides here. Maybe more.
Yet another feature of the Pekin field.
It's definitely a unique field.
Oh, I love it.
0-2 now. By the way, Owen Adams, the freshman shortstop, up to bat. Forgot to mention that. That ball lined to third base for the out.
Morton Potters, the center fielder, number 11, J.B. Krusik.
Comes J.B. Krusik up to bat. He's made his way around a few times. He hasn't faced Lindell yet.
Walk in a single in the first 2 innings for Krusik. We'll see what he conjures up this time.
Second pitch, a little outside, I believe 0-2. Nothing up on the board yet, but yeah, 0-2. Sorry, 2-0. 3-0 now. Mix it up.
Yeah, pretty sure it's 3-0.
It's hard to determine. We're a little up here shifted to the left, so if I call anything bad, I'm usually waiting on the count on the scoreboard. Center field to go up. Now 3-1. And that ball hit right to shortstop, but not able to secure the catch, and that's going to be a single.
Yeah, it looks like it took a little bounce, and that might have made it a little difficult to get a good grasp on it, but
At bat for the Morton Potters, the left fielder, number 5.
definitely not an uncommon error.
It's unfortunate, but you just have a runner at first. But Brooke Newhoff, this whole lineup been able to make their way around, but he's been pretty solid as that one hit deep right in the left field, right in the corner, past the foul pole. Got to track it down, and looks like he's going to stay at third. So we got runners in second and third, both in scoring position now for the Potters with one away.
The Potters definitely just keeping that momentum going, trying to get a couple more insurance runs.
Now Nolan Ryman up to bat. Another one hit right in between third and short as one will score. Looks for another as they're going through. Will not attempt. Now 15-0.
At bat for the Morton Potters, number 5,
RBI single by Ryman.
Potters just keep rolling, not letting up the scoring so far, making Pekin's job maybe slightly more difficult as we head into the later stages of this game.
Another single there, right in between the left side of the infield. Seen that all too common. I think at least 4 times that's happened. But it's hard when you got runners on base. You got to watch out for. Morton getting some new guys in their lineups.
Pitch hitting for the Morton Potters, number 37, Luke Benders.
Luke Benders up to bat. His first at bat of the game.
Warren definitely trying to just give some of their squad a couple of bats, up to bats.
0-1 is the count, with one away. That ball rocketed down the left side of the foul line. 0-2. That ball hit right to the second baseman. Look for a double play. Won't be caught at first, and another will score. As Ryman runs over the plate, make it 16-0. Rodrigo, although we're not near the end of the season, but we have one interesting fact. The sophomore team for Pekin, who are now from last year, who are now juniors, at the end of the season went on a 15-game win streak to close it out. So although the record after this game, if they do lose, will be 7-7, but after that, this team definitely has the capabilities of putting it all together, especially with head coach Matt Emmons and what he's been able to do in his young career as a head coach.
Yeah, this Pekin side definitely has a lot of really good young players that they might be able to incorporate next season. So they'll definitely be an exciting team to see next year.
Yeah, younger guys like Brady Bolin, and got some sophomore guys that are going to be moving up to varsity next year, and the juniors that will be seniors as well. But same for the Morton side, quite a few juniors and a few sophomores. Sorry, no sophomores on the roster, so juniors and seniors for Morton, a little bit of an older roster, but always competitive. That one fouled off.
Yeah, and one of those things that you get with having an older squad is experience, which really matters, especially in the Mid-Illini, which is such a competitive division league
Conference.
That's the word. Yeah.
Helping each other out here, Rodrigo.
Oh yeah, we're getting through it.
You've helped me out with the count a few times, so. Speaking of the count, that one low. Looks like 2-2 count. So runner will advance to second. Runner in scoring position with 2 away, 2 strikes, and 2 balls. Looks like ball 3, full count with 2 away.
An interesting fact about Morton is they've actually played a couple games out of state 3 times already this season. Pekin Dragons have not traveled out of state yet, but I'm not sure if they got any coming up. Oh,
Out of state matchups, those are open. There's the end of the inning, 3rd strike called for Lindell. Little team huddle before the defense goes out for Pekin.
bottom of the 4th coming up.
Roley coming back out for his 4th inning. 9 strikeouts so far. Now to talk about some other some other games here in the Mid-Illini. East Peoria is beating Dunlap 3-1 in the top of the 7th of that matchup. 2 strikes. East Peoria is up to bat, so
Definitely
great game going on over there.
Yeah, definitely a very competitive game so far for Dunlap.
Either team can come away with that one, and like we mentioned earlier, Mid-Illini a very tough conference, so the loser of this game will still be in contention with those other teams, but East Peoria, great team, Dunlap, Metamora, Morton and Pekin, and obviously Washington and some others, with Canton being pretty competitive this year as well. Tough conference.
Definitely, and not just in baseball. We've seen basketball, we've seen football. Those have also been very competitive as well, and that's honestly what I love to see in a conference.
Really all of Central Illinois sports. You can talk about the Big 12 conference as well. They've always been super competitive, but I think some compare and contrast between the two conferences was throughout other sports was the Big 12 was very top heavy, had a lot of really good teams like Peoria for football and Richwoods and some other teams for basketball. So, but overall Mid-Illini has been very consistent in terms of the competitiveness of the conference. 0-2 count for Lavin.
2-0 count, actually.
Sorry, 2-0 count. I'm mixed up here.
You know what what the Pekin Hill reminds me of, Teddy?
What's that?
I don't know if you ever played the Mario Sluggers. It's
Okay.
a Nintendo game about pretty much the Mario characters, Super Mario characters, playing baseball. It's a great game. It has like those type of obstacles. There's one level with like a train.
It's definitely
love that
obscure. Game. I think it, like me and John mentioned earlier, brings a level of uniqueness to the field that is controversial for some teams, but also I seem to like it. I like the difference, but you could say it's a little bit of an advantage for the Pekin guys who know that hill is coming. We've seen some pictures of some guys that have fallen on that hill.
It definitely claims its victims, and it makes me wonder if the coach makes him do some special drills for that sort of situation.
Special hill drills.
Oh yeah, definitely.
3-1 count for Lavin. Ball 4. And the first times, I think we have 3 on base for Pekin. Only one time have they advanced past that. Coming up to bat now, Kieran Bolin.
Yeah, like we keep referring to, just getting a couple of those base hits, just trying to build a little momentum in the top of the fourth. Bottom of the fourth, sorry.
Seen so far in the fourth inning, really falling behind on some pitches. As Lavin will advance to second base, a free opportunity.
Got to take him at this point in the game.
Now 2-0 is the count for Raleigh. And that could be the key for Pekin. They've been pretty aggressive in terms of swinging early on, but now they're being a little bit more patient and seeing some guys getting on base. Looks like another ball. 3-0.
Yeah, last inning we saw Jordan get on base. We'll see if they can get a couple more. Start to chip away at that 16-0 lead that the Potters have right now.
Exactly, Rodrigo. Now 3-1 count for Bolin. 3-2 full count. It's tough because now you're put in a situation to swing, and Raleigh knows that with the different pitches he's able to, and Bolin fouls it away, stays alive.
We haven't seen many full counts, have we, Teddy?
Just a couple.
Yeah.
For Raleigh. I think 2 of them in this inning, I believe. They called that one a strike. Bolin looking for another foul to advance to first, but
brings to the plate for the Pekin Dragons, number 9, the third baseman, Tate Roley.
Trey Roberson up to bat.
I think it was, caught stealing.
It's unfortunate for Pekin. You get a guy on second. One of the first times all game you're able to get to that level and picked off.
Yeah, he was in scoring position. Got picked off.
Great play by Roley, though, to capitalize on that. And that ball hit out to right field. Really a lot of movement by that right fielder to track that ball down. Not able to, but credit him on the attempt.
Yeah, you always got to give the credit to those fielders who go above and beyond trying to try to get a foul ball and potentially get a free out.
Seen a lot of those foul balls for Pekin, and a lot of infielders will try to play, but that's the first time it's gone that far out for right field. Another one rocketed out past the dugouts. 0-2 now.
This gives Raleigh a bit more freedom to try a couple things. Keep the Potters guessing. Robertson guessing.
That one hit right in between third and short, gives them a little bit of their own medicine. He's probably gotten tired of the ball going right in between him and the shortstop, but Another single for Pekin, now their second hit of the day.
At bat for the Pekin
We've been seeing a
Dragons,
lot more hits by Pekin, so they're definitely on the right
Keegan
track
Busby.
heading into the later stages of the game.
Yeah, they're getting their confidence back. Those first 2 innings were pretty rough, adapting to a new pitcher. Morton just adapted a lot faster, but you look at the last 2 innings, it's a lot closer of a game if you take away those 2, but Pekin definitely has to battle their way back because that one fouled off far right side again. That one just nearly hits Busby. 1-1 count with 2 away. I thought for sure that one was going to hit him, but he moved away just in the nick of time.
Yeah, we haven't seen many hit by pitches, have we?
I don't think we've seen a single one.
Yeah. We've seen walks, not hit by pitches, though.
1-2 count. Busby got on base earlier from a walk. I believe the first walk of the game for Raleigh. That one outside, 2-2.
Yeah, that was the first one, the first walk for Pekin, and since then there hasn't been much walking for him.
I'm being corrected by up here in the booth by Connor Taylor. It is Tate Roley, not Tate Roley. I've been saying it wrong the whole game.
Glad we were able to straighten that out here in the bottom of the 4th.
Now a 3-2 count for Busby. Pekin just looking for anything to get on the board. And that will do it. Just brought in the second baseman. Looked like he might have dropped it, but he was able to secure it and secure his landing as well. So Morton escapes with another 0 scores in the inning. 16-0 lead, Morton.
I think we.
Oh,
might
sorry,
be
that was
calling the game. Yeah.
that would be the end of the game. Okay, I didn't even notice, but run rule after that. But okay, great game by Morton in what was dominant fashion for them. Pekin tried a few different things out with some pitchers, but it was clear pretty early on that this one might have gotten away from them.
Yeah, the Potters honestly had some great pitching, had some great hitting, and that's really what gets you these wins. And it's interesting because this was such a different game to what we saw Monday. It was a 4-2 win by Pekin, and like I said, Morton just came back with a vengeance.
Yeah, so the series split now 1-1. Great way for Morton to battle back, but for Pekin, obviously they now fall to 7-7 at 500 after 2-game. Sorry, they 2-2 in the last 4, but still you got to keep your head high. You're close in that race to the Mid-Illini playoff opportunities, but great game by both teams. Sorry, great game by Morton. Pekin knows what they need to work on, but overall, great day for baseball, Rodrigo.
Definitely, and yeah, we're still not super early in the season. We're like mid-season now. We're in mid-April, so they definitely know what they got to work on. Pekin definitely know what they got to work on. Morton can give themselves a bit of a pat on the back for this one, getting this one out. And yeah, we'll see how both of these teams fare heading into the later stages of the conference.
Rodrigo, one of the things I wanted to mention ahead of the game, I didn't get an opportunity to, all the games Pekin wins are very high-scoring efforts. They are really good at putting the bat on the ball, and but when they don't win, a lot of times it's low-scoring. Seems like they get in each other's heads a little bit about that, so hopefully we can see Pekin turn that around because this is a great offense and very capable of going far in the playoffs if they apply themselves more to that standard. But it's a great day for baseball. It was really exciting early on for watching the Morton Potters swing the bat the way they were. 3 home runs in the day. That was entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
We had bullpen switches all around for Pekin and bullpen switch up here in the booth with you and John, so that was entertaining as well.
Had a little bit of everything today.
Everything. let's say we wish the best for that cop car. That's one thing I want to say.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see if anyone gets a bill from that one.
All right. Well. All right. This is Clutch Sports Media. We're gonna wrap it up here. What was a pretty short game, but entertaining if you're a Morton Potters fan. I'm Teddy Ball, and thank you for the rest of the crew: Rodrigo Perez, Jonathan Michael, and Patrick Huber. And we're gonna send it back to. We're gonna end the broadcast. My apologies, but thank you for sticking around and tune in next time. Clutch Sports Media.